This is like a monumental moment, not really, it's kind of like one of those things we're going to document just so we can show the progression. But the Civic Si is sold. It's actually sold to a good friend of ours, which...
You've actually seen him on the channel before.
That's him right now. He says, is it ready yet? No, it's not. So, what is cool is we talked about doing this car a certain way, because we said, this is a cool car, but it needs the K24, and this is what he's kind of agreeing with us. So it's a done deal. We're going to start getting the parts together. He wants to do 5-lug. You can't see these numbers behind us. If you can, I'm going to kind of fuzz those out. But we've been crunching numbers because he's a good friend of ours. We're trying to make this deal work. So he gets what he wants. George gets his car. I get my money paid back. I pay the bank back. This is like a 4-way transaction. This is kind of...
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the background here.
If you saw what's going on here, you'll see why I'm going gray. You see how gray I am?
Or at least lighter blonde.
You can't. Yeah, that's why I keep it blonde.
He's actually naturally brunette.
Really, yeah. But it's actually it's supposed to be jet black. We're going to do the K24. We're going to do the 5-lug. The new owner has his own wheels, which is kind of his vision. The wheels are going to go on it. Rotors, pads. It's already got the good suspension.
Yep.
It's got K-Pro. So it's going to be... We're basically building the car the way George wanted to build it. So I'm hoping... You know, he doesn't like fall back in love with it. And then
it's gonna be exactly what I wanted to do, like 100%.
He's gonna go, hey, do you want my new car and I take that car? So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna show you this. I'm gonna show you the next stage right now. A road trip and came back with this guy, the K24. K24 A2. This is an 08, so we are starting off with the good motor. We're going to get this off and obviously go through it. We're going to put a clutch on it. We're going to check that clutch. If that clutch is good, we might stick with it, but more than likely we're just going to put a brand new one on there so we know everything is good and we're not going to have to worry about it. Alright, so here it is. Look how clean that is. So I want to say thanks to TA. Those guys are in Plant City. I just drove up there and picked this motor up, talked to Jamie. Actually a friend of mine for a number of years. But talk to anybody up there, they'll be able to help you. They have a lot of good stuff, a lot of S2000, a lot of K-Series, and a lot of pretty much anything. But this is what we're into right now. So we're going to talk about this K24. Okay, so we removed the TSX manifold. It is the long runner manifold right here. As you see, it's like a 2-part design, but it's a very torquey manifold. Well, on this car, it's a lightweight car. We're not looking for the low down torque. We're gonna go for the horsepower over the low down torque. So we actually have a PRC manifold, which is off the K20 Type R, and we're going to go ahead and donate this to the cause. The new owner is a good friend of mine. This is one I had in our collection, so I'm going to go ahead and give him this. It'll make more power, it looks better, and it'll fit better too. It's in good shape, but I'm going to go ahead and clean it up, make it look a little prettier. And one thing to note, as you see how the manifold bolts here, it doesn't have this area here for the water supply. You see how the water comes into the head. Basically this section is missing off here, which if you look at the head, it would be basically this area here. Our intake manifold is only going to use those 2 bolts, and it comes around here. So K-Tuned make a piece for this we've ordered, and I'm going to show you how to put it on, because it seems like a lot of people put that thing on and have problems with it. It leaks. They don't know how to make it work. I want to show you exactly how to do it so you don't have a problem. That is on order. It should actually be here today. I ordered it yesterday. This whole deal started yesterday, so we're moving quick on this thing. Again, we're trying to do this after hours and between jobs. We're trying to make this our Christmas build.
Damn handle.
Wow, look at all that stuff.
That's a big smile.
Big smile. Look at
That big box must be for me. It looks like it's very light.
Yeah.
The light smile.
Box of air.
This is a Sanford. This might be it. It feels really big though. dying to see what that
I think it is Sanford, yeah.
Yeah, okay, this is the one we were looking for. All right, this is what we are looking for. This is our piece for this manifold. As you see, we're gonna put one of the thermal gaskets on there. We're gonna bolt our piece here. This is it. I'm gonna show you how to put it on properly.
See ya.
Thanks, Bruce. Most people screw this up and blame everybody but their solution. You know what I mean? All right, so let me show you this piece here, and I'm gonna show you how to install it without having the leaking issue, which these are known for. So this is gonna go here, right there. It's gonna pick up this one bolt hole here. This over here is a tab. It kind of has a spring on there. This would go over the manifold bolt, so the idea is the manifold bolt puts a little bit of tension on here. But essentially you don't have any seal here. Of course we're going to use Honda Bond, but you've only got one mounting point, so this over here, as you tighten it, there's nothing to support this end. Well, there's somewhere in the instructions it tells you about adding this bolt right here. Well, in the kit it comes with a plug right here for this extra hole here if you're not going to use it. This of course is going to go to this hose right here. Well, this bolt here is to go in this hole. This is obviously just a locating hole, but a lot of people are using that to hold it down, and I've seen a handful of, I've even replied to some of the threads, but you know what it's like talking to some of these people on the forums. If you don't, you should try it. But anyway, that will go right here, this hole here, to put that Allen bolt in. So right here, you're going to tighten this up. This is going to be right here to align it. Put that in, run that bolt in a little ways. That, when tight, is going to give you the location. You're going to drill this hole, put that bolt in there. Obviously use Honda Bond on the back side of this. It is critical how far to drill this. It is in the instructions. All right, so I got a chart here that gives me the drill size for the size of the tap. Well, we need to tap this out to a 6x1, and the tap size is 13/64. So what I'm going to do is I typically use the same size drill bit as that hole first, just to make a mark. That means that the indentation is perfectly in the middle, because the drill bit is the same size as this. That way it's not going to be one side or another. Then I would leave this tight and drill while this is in, and use this as kind of like a fixture, so of course my hole goes as straight as possible. This, according to the instructions, 14 millimeters deep. So to get that depth, you're gonna need a small depth gauge and measure, drill a little at a time, measure, drill a little bit, and kind of creep up to that 14 millimeter. Then you want to make sure that when this goes through this fitting, take this fitting off, put this through, make sure you have 14 millimeters or less. You don't want this to go in and bottom out. That means it won't actually tighten on this. And you don't want to go deeper than 14 just in case you hit a water jacket. So we have our drill selection now. Alright, so here's our intake manifold now. Just refinished it. Makes it look a whole lot prettier. So we should be able to install this, and we'll verify that our piece is going to fit before we bolt everything on for good, and of course put some Honda Bond on there. So this piece should go right back in this area here, and our bolts should line up. So it's best to verify this, make sure that there is a gap here. You don't want them binding up because one of them won't tighten. Either you'll have an air leak or worse, a water leak. But as you see, we've got adequate gap right here. And take it off, put some Honda Bond on this, tighten it up, and it's good. Alright, so the intake manifold is on, and obviously a better flowing manifold looks better, everything is cleaner. Throttle body, we haven't got a solution yet. The EP3 throttle body will fit on there, but of course it is smaller than what it could really use. We're going to look around. We might have a throttle body around here. If we do, we're going to put that on. I'm going to leave this off because we're probably going to change the water pump, but as you see, this hose would go on here, and we're not going to have any problems with that. You see the Honda Bond squished out. Always let that sit. I prefer to let that sit for 24 hours before you put water in. It's not going to be 24 hours on this motor, but that's just rule of thumb. Some of these hoses, I don't know if we're going to be keeping them the way they are or changing them. I'll leave this loose. This is obviously it's going to connect to the brake booster. This would be the PCV line, which on this manifold would go here, so you just put a short hose there. Again, not going to hook that up yet because all this bracketry is going to be removed here pretty soon. Still too tall. The motor is prepped, it's ready to go in. The car is going to be coming here pretty soon, and it's going to continue anyway. But just to recap, this was kind of like a last minute thing. Well, not this, but the whole story.
Yeah.
I went, George, guess what? I found a car I think is going to be perfect for you. Long story, I just refied my house. I had a little bit of extra play money. I went, you know what? If you want, I'll buy it. We'll sell your CRV, because he had plans for the CRV. We'll sell your EP3 Civic, and then you just pay me back for that car, and I'll put the money back. And anyway, so that's what's happened. But to sell this, we said we would talk about putting a K24 in, which worked out perfect. And we actually sold the car to a good friend of mine, a friend that I've known for 20 plus years. And he agrees that car needs this motor and then a few extra things, which we will kind of fill in and show you. But we're doing a few extra things to the car at the same time. So it's going to be perfect. So it's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah.
We talked about it. George isn't upset because
I get to build the car the way I wanted it. He's doing everything that I wanted to do, so.
Yeah, so he gets to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just somebody else owns it. The good thing is, it's a good friend of ours, so
Yeah.
he'll let you drive it.
Most of the fun is building it anyway, so.
Yeah, exactly. So
I get to build it on someone else's dime.
yeah, and we'll say, hey, your name here.
Yep.
Can I drive the car? And he'll be like, sure. So it's good. But yeah, motor's prepped. Car's going to be sitting here. We're going to be working late nights, overtime. You're going to see the owner. He's said, hey, let me know when you work on it. I want to help. I mean, that's a car guy.
Yeah.
He's going to come and tinker.
And it's not like he hasn't done it before. Like you
No,
said, you've
he
been doing it
knows.
for 20 years. He used to come in here ages ago.
Way back before anything, he would come in and work on his own. I would talk him into something and say, we can do this, this, and this. He would come in and help. It kind of offset the whole deal, make it easier, and you know, save a little bit. So he's not a stranger to that.
No, of course.
Now, do you want to see George's new car?
I do.
Let's go see it. Ready?
See it now?
All right, let's go see it. All right, so it's late. George and I just did a drive to North Florida. We kind of got off work a little bit early, so we're not going to show you this until after. So this is going to be going back in time. But this is what we just picked up. Pull a little bit further forward. Go to the right a little bit. Don't crash it. That's good. Alright, so this is what we just picked up. You want everybody to scream out at once what it is? Does that give it away? Alright, so while you're all trying to figure out what it is, look at that, it's got a laptop built onto the dash.
Yeah.
How big is that screen?
10.2.
Look at that, looks like a giant iPhone.
Yeah.
That is awesome, isn't it?
The only two places I ever go.
That's it. Homework, 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 work home. Sleep, homework. So this is it. This is going to be George's new car. There's a long backstory to this, but I have a habit of getting people in above their head, including myself. I usually go, hey George, do you want to go into debt for about however long? Because I usually do that. It's got a, wow, that's a bright light.
It's like daytime in here. I'm turning it off.
Yikes. I just saw how white it go when you opened the door. So George was working on the CRV. He had plans for that. He was working on his EP3, and I said, you know what, we both saw this car and he liked it and I looked at it and I went, you know what, I'm all about going into debt. I'm already in debt. How about I help you out when we buy this car? So I kind of helped him out with this. And what he's going to do is sell the CRV and the EP3, which were both good cars, but you know what it is. Tell him what it is.
Never the intention to get rid of either or. I don't want you guys to think like I'm giving up on anything, but come on, it's a Mugen Si.
Look at this. I remember when these came out. George remembers when they came out. And these were untouchable. And it just kind of worked out. This is actually owned by a friend of ours. and it kind of helped fall into place. Long story, this is going to be George's car once we get the other two cars sold. It's in really good shape, and it is the Mugen model. I mean, I remember when these came out and they were bringing big money. I mean, it's got so many cool little features. It's got all the Mugen accents, and this is a really neat blue, and with that wheel color combination, you'll see this better in the daytime. But the wheels are awesome. It's got obviously the proper Mugen parts. This is aftermarket because I guess the Mugen one notoriously has a problem. This is carbon fiber, but it really sets it off on this color. I really like it.
I think he said the original one is cracked.
Yeah, he said it was a common thing. I guess it could be fixed. It's underneath somewhere.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, which it could be fixed. It could probably be
Someone's
ground.
fixed it before. You can see that's like a plug that you can pull out.
Yeah.
That one's been like bond out or
Being
glassed
shaped
over.
up. Oh, you
Yeah.
can kind of see the coloring. So that's kind of common, but after seeing this, I mean, look at that.
Yeah, that looks good.
Look at the batch. I mean, this is crazy. So the carbon fiber looks really good. It's got, obviously, the Mugen ground effects. This, we'll go over the details later, but I know it has all kinds of Mugen stuff. I know Honda Pro J, that's what we do. Just call Honda Pro Jason.
Yeah.
Don't internet search it. Just call Jason and go, listen, we have the Mugen Si, what does it have? So he will tell you everything, but it has a lot of trig parts, suspension, obviously some accents. It has the Mugen exhaust. I mean, it's awesome. So that's it. George and I have got to go home. My wife's calling us. It's late. We have to be at work again tomorrow. But this is one of those opportunities we wanted to share with you. It is right now, just to give you the heads up, it's October 8th. You might not see this video for a couple of weeks or so. I'm not sure, but we'll refer back to this and you'll see what we're doing. So let's get back to the future. Okay, so it is in fact the future. It is now December 9th. It's amazing. It's almost exactly 2 months to the day, but everything is sold. The CRV we sold, the Civic Si is sold. This is the replacement. So he went from a CRV and a EP3 to this. So this thing is fantastic. I think I'm as excited as he is. This is like a Christmas thing coming together. George gets the car. My friend gets the EP3. I get paid back. So everyone is happy. And it's like a Christmas miracle. But there it is. There's George's new car. A few other things going on, but stay tuned. We will be doing more to this, not right now, because obviously the priority is work and that EP3, getting the K20 in it and getting that delivered to complete the deal. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Don't forget, hit the subscribe, click the like, click the bell, and most importantly, enjoy your cars.